Good morning, and thank you for being here with us for this special event recognizing Galveston Rising Together, a tribute to the island's history and resilience. We're here to get certified with a new world record for the longest walkway in the world at 10.3 miles. Before we start, I want to thank the entire Visit Galveston team for their hard work that they've put in over the last couple of weeks to put this event together, and also to the city of Galveston for their collaboration in order to make this happen. My name is Tony Lyle. I am the Executive Director of Visit Galveston, and I appreciate you all joining us here as we recognize this historic Galveston seawall. It was out of the great storm that happened 125 years ago that this seawall was built. Today we stand here to honor those who built this island treasure, as well as help to ensure our safety from future storms. We have a short but important program today, and to kick things off, I want to introduce the interim CEO of the Galveston Park Board of Trustees, Marty Miles.
Hi, how are you all? I want to start by thanking you, and if this doesn't show Galveston pride, I don't know what does. Congratulations. Very excited. We don't know yet, but we think we're close to 7,000 people for this event, and that's just so cool. Thank you to the Park Board staff for putting this together. What a remarkable event. Thank you all. This is a great representation of the resilience of Galveston. You know, the seawalls, it's pretty amazing how resilient the people were to do that, to raise the whole city. We all benefit from that every single day. Okay, is this better? I'm sorry. All right, I'll talk loud. I guarantee you our staff thinks I talk too loud. So anyway, I wanted to, again, I'll thank you all for being here. This is just, it means so much to the city. The seawall means so much to the city. Raising of the city means so much to all of us. And we are, in my opinion, just stewards of what our predecessors have done. And I hope you're as proud of that as I am. I get to introduce somebody that has led this city through at least 2 hurricanes, a freeze, more than 1 flood, and done it in an exceptional manner. I'd like to introduce to you the Honorable Mayor, Dr. Craig Brown.
Good morning, everyone. You know, here we are on a brisk fall morning here in Galveston, and what could be better? 125 years ago, if you think back, the inhabitants of Galveston was going about their business and many of them had no idea that a storm was approaching. Here we are now 125 years later, and not only do we have the modern weather forecasting abilities, but we have our seawall and the grade raising of the island. I was talking to the colonel with the Army Corps of Engineers. What a phenomenal engineering feat that was. And this, thank you. What the seawall stands for and what the grade raising stand for, it was an outshoot from the storm, and it stands for not only an engineering excellence that took place, but it stands for the resilience and the innovative quality, the patience, the fortitude, and the strength of Galveston. And we really celebrate that. Not only the storm, but what happened after the storm that represents our culture, the people that live here, and the whole idea of resilience and fighting back and coming back that everyone in the world, I think, looks to. So thank you for being here. I want to introduce, before I leave, we have some dignitaries from City Council. We have Mayor Pro Tem Marie Robb. Marie. We have District 2 Representative Bob Brown. District 3, I'm sorry. And District 5, Bo Rollins. On behalf of the city of Galveston and as the mayor of the city of Galveston, thank you for being here this morning. And I'm going to turn it back over to Tony Lyles. Tony?
Thank you, Mayor Brown. After the Great Storm of 1900, those that remained on the island got together to start the construction of this impressive structure that we're standing on today. But it would take the skill of the Army Corps of Engineers to extend the seawall into how we know it today. Colonel David Dake joins us this morning from the Army Corps of Engineers with the fascinating history of how this seawall came to be. David.
Thank you. Hello? So I'm going to stand here and tell you how smart we are as engineers, as I'm the only one standing out here with a jacket on in 90-degree heat. So good morning, Mayor Brown, the city of Galveston, Guinness World Records, and Coastal Texas. Distinguished guests, partners, community leaders, and friends, it is truly an honor to stand before you today as the new commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Galveston District. I'm humbled to serve in a place with such a rich history where engineering, community, and resilience have been intertwined for generations. Today, I want to reflect on one of the most defining chapters in that history, the Great Galveston Storm of 1900, the remarkable engineering response that followed, and what it means for us today. Galveston's history is not just a story of survival, it is a story of leadership, innovation, and hope. Forgive me for having a flip here. On September 8, 1900, Galveston faced what remains the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history, a massive hurricane unannounced by the modern forecasting systems we now rely on. Struck the island with ferocity, winds reached more than 120 miles per hour, and the storm surge swallowed entire neighborhoods. In a matter of hours, the storm claimed as many as 8,000 lives. According to some estimates, the city was left in ruins. Families were torn apart, and the island's future was uncertain. But what happened next is what truly defines Galveston. Not just the tragedy, but the courage to confront it. Out of unimaginable loss came determination, out of devastation came innovation, and out of despair came one of the most ambitious engineering feats of its time. The leaders of Galveston refused to give up. Instead, they turned to engineers with a bold question: how do we ensure this never happens again? The answer was as audacious as it was visionary. Our engineers proposed not just repairing the island, but quite literally lifting it up, raising the ground beneath homes, businesses, and streets to heights that could withstand future storms. Beginning in 1903, the island was elevated in stages. More than 2,000 buildings, including houses, churches, and even massive structures like St. Patrick's Church, were lifted using an army of hydraulic jacks. Sand dredged from the ship channel was pumped beneath them, raising the city by as much as 17 feet in some places. Imagine the coordination, the labor, and the will it took to pull that off, long before the technology we take for granted today. The city of Galveston didn't just rebuild, they built back stronger and smarter. At the same time, construction began on a seawall that would serve as the island's front line against the Gulf. The first segment, completed in 1904, stretched over 3 miles long and 17 feet high. Over the years, the seawall was extended, protecting more and more of the island's population. The results spoke for themselves when another hurricane struck in 1915. The seawall held. Though not a single death was acceptable, the death toll was a fraction of what it had been just 15 years earlier. Galveston had proven that resilience, grounded in bold engineering and community determination, could save lives. This legacy of innovation and perseverance holds many lessons for us today. The story of Galveston after 1900 is more than local history. It is a lesson in human ingenuity, civic courage, and the power of engineering to serve the public good. What inspires me most is not just the scale of the project, but the spirit behind it. The people of Galveston believed in a future beyond the disaster. They chose not to abandon this island, but to invest in it, to rebuild smarter, stronger, and safer. That same spirit drives the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to this day. As the Galveston District, we are heirs to that legacy. Our mission is to protect, to strengthen, and to innovate for the people we serve along the Gulf Coast. Whether it's deepening ship channels to power our nation's economy, restoring wetlands that protect our environment, or building flood control projects that safeguard our communities, we continue the work that began more than a century ago, engineering solutions for the nation's toughest challenges. As we stand on it here today, I ask you to look closely at the seawall. Don't let your eyes deceive you. The Galveston seawall is more than a work of concrete and stone. It is a monument to the resiliency of the people who call this island home. It is a reminder that while we cannot control nature's power, we can prepare, we can adapt, and we can protect. The seawall stands today as a testament to what is possible when vision meets action, when science serves society, and when communities and engineers stand together. As I step into this role as the Galveston District Commander, I'm grateful for the opportunity to build on this proud history. The challenges of today may be different, rapid urbanization, rising seas, and stronger storms, but the values we bring to those challenges are the same: resilience, innovation, and service. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers exists for moments like this, when vision meets action and engineering serves the greater good. The story of Galveston reminds us that nature is all-powerful, but the human spirit can rise to the occasion. That is what the people of this island did more than a century ago. Resilience is not built in a day. It is built generation by generation. And that is what we will continue to do together in the years ahead. The spirit that lifted this island a century ago is very much still here, alive and thriving. Thank you for welcoming me, my family, into this community, and thank you for your partnership as we carry forward the mission of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I speak for the entire Galveston district of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers workforce of 600 U.S. Army professionals when I say that it is an honor to serve you and the communities of coastal Texas. Thank you for being here today to commemorate this chapter in our history and to mark this momentous occasion. As we say in the Corps of Engineers, essay ons and go Army.
Thank you, Colonel Dake. As you've heard, the seawall has a storied history, as do so many things in Galveston. The Galveston Historical Foundation preserves so much of the island's history. This event is just one of several honoring the legacy of the 1900 storm. Here to tell us about the other opportunities to mark the storm's legacy is Dwayne Jones, the Executive Director and CEO of the Galveston Historical Foundation. Dwayne.
Well, thank you all very much. It's so terrific to see you guys out here all celebrating and recognizing this extraordinary accomplishment with the seawall. The engineers have to tell our history. The historians just have to kind of repeat it, right? So the engineers, only thing he left out was that the first section of the seawall was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1977 as an engineering feat. The rest of it should be recognized. But anyway, it's an important recognition of what Galveston did, as you've already heard from our terrific engineer and from our mayor. We're very excited to recognize this weekend because it is an anniversary of 125 years. It's an important part of the island's history. There is no other part of our history other than the 1900 storm and our recovery that is more decisive and more known about the community today around the world. So recognizing that achievement 125 years is important. There are a number of events today that we are sponsoring and some of our colleagues in the community are sponsoring. We have an event tonight at the Depot and Market, which is an open house, which is featuring some new things for us. And on Monday, tomorrow we're doing tours, and on Monday we're doing a ceremony here at noon with some of our religious leaders in the community to recognize the somewhat 8,000 individuals who died in the storm in 1900. So we'll have with us leaders, but we'll also have some representatives of the Sisters of the Charity of Incarnate Word. And you guys will know that story about how the orphanage of 90 orphans were lost and the 10 nuns who were lost. Every year, those nuns, wherever they are around the world, sing the French hymn, Queen of the Waves, in recognition of the 1900 storm. So we're going to do that. And we're going to wrap up some more things. You'll see some more things on the internet. And anyway, as closing, just to tell you that it's great as a historian to be part of another part of history, which is this celebration today of 125 years. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dwayne. All of the events are listed on these posters, and we have a table set up over here. If anybody wants to get one of these special posters marking all of the events. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, Michael Emprich with Guinness World Records is here to certify if the seawall will indeed receive the record for the longest walkway. Michael, please come and let us know your findings.
Well, my findings is that it is very humid here today. So, my name is Michael Emprich with Guinness World Records in New York City. Before I announce any results, I'd just like to take a moment and thank you for your hospitality. One of the things we love to celebrate at Guinness World Records is community, people coming together. And this is such a great example of the community really coming out in force today to celebrate just humanity, and engineering achievement, and the community as a whole. So I think that deserves a round of applause before we announce any results. So, this was an official Guinness World Records attempt for longest walkway. The existing record was set in Tampa, Florida, and that is the Bayshore Boulevard, which is 4.5 miles long. After a review of the evidence supplied by the team at Visit Galveston, today I can announce that in Galveston, Texas, USA, you had a measurement of 10 miles, 1,584 feet. It's a new Guinness World Records title. Come on up. Galveston, you are officially amazing. Great job. Congratulations.
Yay! Thank you, Michael. We're going to do a bunch of photo ops in a moment, but before we do that, we really appreciate everybody here for joining us today for this special occasion, and this time to honor those who died and survived the Great Storm of 1900. We take this Guinness World Record and we will display it proudly, knowing it recognizes the legacy of those who built the wall and pays tributes to our resilience. Thank you for being here this morning. Please be safe as you head out today. Thank you. Oh, there's a table.
Okay, I figured as much. I'm sorry.
There you go, Jeff.